Two butterflies fucking. That's all I was trying to say. Now they're gone. June was blue too. The gaunt man in the coat, the woman with the red hair, were ahead of them still, closer now. The woman bent down, as if crouching. The man waved an arm like an axe above her. A gull lifted off the lake. June took off, ran past them, leaving Sydney behind. She made her way to the locks and behind the sandbanks, disappearing from Sydney's view. She felt like running to Hamilton, 66 kilometers away. They say you can do that running along this path, but it's not Hamilton that June wants to go to. She wants to get out of her own head, a stoop from which she can pick a fight with the most benevolent human being in the world. Even when the sky is lilac or violet, and even if two butterflies stop her day with their urgent life, she hovers on this stoop like a praying mantis, looking harmless, but not at all harmless. Her stick of a body is deceptive. Her poised look, her brain in compressed rage, all the reedy details of a life lived cautiously and suspiciously, yet on the verge of weeping at small, beautiful occurrences. Sydney catches up to June and runs beside her silently towards Hamilton. They run now in a coming twilight. Glass condominiums ride their right shoulders to the end of the waterfront path. To their left, the lake meets the Humber River. They are just trying to run out June's anger and unreasonableness, and Sydney's failure to be quiet and observe. Silence is how they make peace. Usually, each works out the facts and fictions in her own mind, the way one does, forgetting one's own part and then forgetting the other's part. Finally, each won't remember the whole fight clearly, and they'll leave it at that. The dregs of a fight, though, can be more dangerous than the fight itself, since these dregs are a synthesis of collective arguments over time. A concentrated toxin. No argument in the world is ever resolved. Resolving would suggest some liquid in which arguments could be immersed. Perhaps love. But it must be love enough. The consistency of the mixture would have to be a greater portion of love. So many deciliters of love to dissolve so many milliliters of the other stuff. And the trouble is, this other stuff, this toxic material, is sometimes flammable. These other ingredients are random and personal, like childhood or desire, and they don't necessarily mix well with love. Love is not as durable or pliable as one is led to think anyway. Love can be indefinable all on its own. But this fight, the one about the butterflies, will be remembered with humor eventually, because after all, it was only about two butterflies mating, not the greater matters of the world. June was in love once. Truly. She sometimes comes upon the memory in the form of a breathless panic. Then she closes that door quickly. It took place in a bachelor apartment and at the young subway station, and during several springs. She was 20. At the young subway station. She remembers waiting there on the southbound platform for the lover. Each train that came through the tunnel from where her lover lived ran up June's spine like a corkscrew. Late. Always late. The lover would emerge like a gift, bright and innocent. As if not late at all, but on time. They would go to whatever movie or party or club in a radiant cylinder of what June now calls panic, but then she called love. They would dance among other people in love too, encased in their own cylinders. These cylinders weren't smooth but jagged and electric to the touch, and, on the dance floor, June and the lover were a dangerous energy. They were exhausted and frantic in their desire, and all the other desires around them made them clash and incinerate. June heard a constant clanging in her ears. Her breath was like small, sharp silver bracelets. When they parted at the young subway station again, June felt suicidal and could not look down at the empty station rails. The bachelor apartment where her lover lived was